What is up, my good people? What is up? And I'm in here today with Ashley Kuske. What is up, girl?
Hey, what's up?
I know, it's been a minute. Like, how long has it been since we hung out?
It's been,
when's the last time? Was it that drift event?
We went camping. That was a,
oh, yeah.
I believe it was a summer starter trip. Yeah.
Yeah, it was that long ago? Maybe.
Jeez. But we've been talking.
Well, yeah. And you've changed a lot of things in your life, right?
Yes.
Like, you left that job.
Left the job.
But you're still moving in that same direction. You were just, that company wasn't doing it for you.
Yeah, I had the most amazing year working with teens that were going through anxiety and depression and PTSD. It was a group of about 9 teenagers, and we, like I said, I channeled you a lot through some of the things that we did therapeutically there, and music was definitely the common ground that provided a lot of space for healing and growth for all of us. I finished off with that group, and then decided to spend the summer with my son, and
that looked
transition.
Really fun.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you guys have had a blast and stuff too. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really great. So, yeah, moving into just accepted a different job offer this week. So, kind of moving into a different role and still working with teens and families.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So is it the same kind of thing, or is it a little different? Like,
it's
because you were working with like mental health and stuff, right? Is it still in that realm?
Yeah, it's still working with mental health. Clackamas County, I will be connecting families with resources all over Clackamas County, wraparound services. Yeah.
That's a huge role.
Doing home
like
visits.
It is, because it's so important. It really is. Like, I'm kind of glad that people have talked more about mental health, because I couldn't imagine living with mental health without anybody really knowing what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like it'd be so confusing,
Yeah, that's going to be my new position, is connecting with families in person as they find out about diagnosis or just transitioning into learning about mental health in their family and needing support. So, I'll just be providing wraparound services, and I strongly believe that music is so important for the healing process. And every family I've worked with the past year has really, I just want to share with you that they're looking for mentors for their children and teens to work on music.
That's super sick.
Like, not even learning an instrument or
over at Slough City, they take interns. They have interns come through, and like Prince will like show them how to use the studio stuff, and they'll like teach them stuff. We should get them linked up with that.
We should. I'd love that information to send over to the families. They've been asking for things in Portland metro area, and it's just been past year I've been facilitating music groups and producing remotely.
Oh, yeah. Look at you.
Yeah. So, and during COVID, teaching, like, I did some virtual groups and just using those free programs and teaching how to record music so that they can do that with their friends. And
I mean, it is so important as a hobby. Like, when I was younger, I never really told anybody, but I used to go write music when I was like 11, 12. I started it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really show anybody till I was like almost 18 or something like that. But it literally helped me get through high school. Like, I hated school so much, and like I would go home and just like write a bunch of music. So it's kind of weird how that works out. Like, you don't even realize how healing it is.
Exactly.
It just happens.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like anytime I've really been really low in my life is a point where I wasn't really making music,
Yeah, absolutely. It's a positive coping skill. It It's definitely a strong way to build a connection, to be inclusive and to, honor differences with your friendships and also connect and talk about your feelings, mental health if you're writing, if you're like doing the writing and the singing.
Yeah, I feel like you can like express yourself without having to worry about any backlash.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because everybody always has an opinion about your feelings. So it's hard for you to talk to a friend about how you feel because they can easily be like, oh, let me just, compare this to my own life and give you advice that I would take in my own life. But,
Exactly.
And that doesn't really help. So it's like, it's nice where you can just say what you want to say. And then if you build up some fans, you have a bunch of people that can interpret it in their own way.
Yes.
And then it's like a spider web of happiness, like
it is. And truly I've recognized that with your music since we first met. I've seen when I listen to your work, I hear you talk about some of your experiences, and it's definitely, a way to express yourself without maybe some of the vulnerabilities of talking about yourself and the hardships with it being awkward, but you can find people that can relate, or you're saying something in a different way that can help someone work through something.
Yeah. I've had a couple people like come up to me and say like, oh, this line meant so much to me because of this. And it was like totally unrelated to what I wrote about. But I was like, that's awesome. Like you took that piece of art and turned it into like something totally different. So thanks for that,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's huge. And I feel like everybody, like, because I feel like addiction and mental health, they obviously like coincide a lot. And so I feel like for me, getting off of like drugs, I used to do pills and stuff all the time back in the day. It was cars. And then what kept me off was music, And so I feel like parents especially should always try to like find that thing that their kid has, that they like, that's like artsy.
Yeah.
And just get all the things they need for it, like cheer them on, like, because I feel like if we all have that one thing, at least one, then we can at least like stay sane. Because like for me, like cars, they'll never like be rude to me. They'll never they'll never make fun of me. They might break all the time, but they're not gonna make fun of me. They're not gonna judge me. So that's for me, like when I stopped doing everything and started working really on my mental health, but getting clean at the same time. It's kind of the same thing. And I, like was alone all the time, just with my cars, and I was working on them every day. And before you know it, I was totally cool with being alone. I didn't need like those party friends. I didn't need like anybody around me telling me how cool I was to be happy. Like I was just cool with it because I was like, I love my car.
That's amazing. Sweet. Seems like, you can work on cars and it's productive.
Yeah.
And it's also, you're building on something, and then you can do that for your work and your hobby and something you love and you're passionate about, you're good at it. That's fantastic. You found that.
I know.
And that you do that. And
I hate
do
it
music.
now.
That's
Sometimes, I love working on my own car. I hate working on other people's cars. But, it's still like, if I didn't have that to lean back on, I don't really know what else, other than music. Like I would have to find something totally different to do with my hands and express myself. Like my car is covered in like the anime stuff because I'm expressing myself. Like that's how I do it, and so like I just like I feel for kids that don't have that in their life, like whether, and I didn't really have that in my life. Like my parents, they just kind of took care of me. They'd get me through the basics and like playing some sports and stuff. But I remember my whole life I was obsessed with music, and I was never put in any kind of like extra music thing.
That's what's up. And I
like my kid, I'm just waiting to see what she's like into, and I'm like, go. Like I will save up for this. I'll figure it out. Like find your thing,
That's what has been so amazing the past year. I just started doing music about 3 years ago. I've been writing, and then I just I actually bought my guitar for my son. Ooh. He's musical. He's 7, he's musical, and so I wanted to have instruments around. I wanted to have what he's interested in.
Yeah.
And then we just started. I just like started playing.
It's so fun to do it with your kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got one too for me to learn, but it's like a 3/4 size.
Okay.
So I got it for traveling, but it's like perfect for my kid.
Oh, I gotta see it.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't know how to play it yet. I pretty much like bought it, and I'm always busy and don't spend enough time like every day on it. Like I know some tunes, but that's it.
Yeah.
But she'll like randomly like grab it off the hanger and start like playing it, and I'm like,
Good.
oh my god,
yeah.
And so I left like the amp right. It plugs into an amp, and I left it right there. And I like showed her how to turn it on. So like if she wants to, she can just like hook it up and da-na-na.
Yeah, I think it's for me learning to play guitar, it's that hands-on thing.
Yeah, you just have to do it over and over and over.
And having something to do with your hands to, occupy your self. And it's
one of these times I'm going to figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it.
Well, we should have a jam session.
Yeah, dude, I'm down. Yeah.
I'll play guitar. You go.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Okay.
I wanted to get drums too for my kid because I just feel like, especially if you had a bad day, like as a kid, like and didn't learn how to express yourself yet, I feel like drums just like, like at the end of the day would be so like perfect.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm thinking about that too, but I don't know where to put them. They're big. Like sets of drums are like take up a lot of space, like this whole table kind of space. Yeah. So I'm like, I don't know where I'd put it.
You got room in the studio?
Yeah, right. Well, and my neighbors would hate me.
Right.
I wouldn't mind though. Our neighbor, we have one across the street that plays violin. And she's really good at it. Yeah, and so like, so I don't know. Maybe they'd care if we had drums, but only if it was cutting into her practice, I guess.
That's awesome. Yeah, one thing that I did with the teens this year was we would do this group music on the hour every hour. I do it on a Friday or something like that, and I just be like, all right, pick some songs that you're wondering what the group might think the meaning behind it is. So pick something that's special to you that maybe isn't such an obvious message, and then we're gonna go around and as it's playing, like write about how it makes us feel, what we think the message being portrayed is. And that was really eye-opening to do with the group that I was with. Different 11 through 17, totally different life experiences. Just a really fun game to do. So
yeah, because we all have our own like story. I mean, a lot of the stuff when I was younger, I don't really remember, but I know that I've been through like a ton. So like you're seeing all those kids at different points in their life with all those different ages. Yeah, because when I was 11, I know like that's when bullying started for me, and I hated people. But then by the end of high school, I was like super confident, didn't really care, nobody bothered me. So it was like, yeah, it'd be weird to catch them.
It was really beautiful to have the 11-year-olds talk to the 17-year-olds like about bullying, and then to find like to learn from each other's experiences and use music as taking their own personal feelings out of it and using music as a tool to talk about these deeper issues that are really prevalent in their lives, and bringing them together.
Yeah, and hopefully they're not too shy enough and will show their school at the talent show.
Yeah,
speak up.
You know what? I have someone that's going to listen to this, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Really?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I was contacted by them. They're doing they're doing the
go
play.
For it.
Yeah, they're like singing in the.
That's like important. Like in 4th grade, I had like a solo. My kid goes to that same school I went to too. I'm so excited.
Yeah. The same school you went to?
Yeah, I'm hoping they have like plays and stuff. Just for sure, memory's sake. But no, yeah. No, I lost what we were talking about.
Are we gonna hear one of your?
Yeah, I'm gonna play a track that we made randomly at the studio. Perfect. Yeah, it was right after the For the Love event. They do graffiti all on the outside of the studio.
Where's that at?
At the studio. You've been there, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that one, the whole backside of it's like covered in graffiti. And so it was like after that, and so a bunch of people were like toasty drunk, and we were playing some of his own beats, and then we're all like, let's make a track. And of course, Scotty just murders it on the hook and leaves, and he's drunk too, just like the rest of us.
He's
and
good on the fly.
Dude, it's not fair.
He's pretty good.
Because his hook is like perfect. Like there's nothing I would change about it. And then
That's
all of our verses, you can just tell. Like mine's a little too slow in my opinion, but it does sound good,
Yeah.
And then the guy at the very beginning, his is all freestyle, fucking drunk, wasted, and like he's a really dope graffiti artist. And then at the end, Max, he was drunk. We were all drunk. It was like, I think we finished at like 4 a.m, 5 a.m. It was insane. And so hopefully we're gonna like mess with that one a little bit. But I was like, let's just play it. Because I like it.
All right. I can't wait to hear.
Yeah, the hook is so good.
Sweet.
You're going to be like, dude, we got to make a track soon.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Are you asking? Are we going to do this?
Dude, okay. Why not?
Let's go.
Why would
Let's start. Yeah. All right.
I'm always down to make music. Always.
Yeah.
I think, like, I wish more of Portland would be that way, too. Yeah. Of just, I mean, most people are. But you always get those couple that are like, oh, I need like 300 a verse or something like that. And I'm like, bro, you're in Portland. Like, come on. Yeah. And like, we're both Portland artists. Like, what could you really? Yeah. No.
Yeah. I've recently connected with some, local artists and doing some collaborations. Sometimes I'm surprised, but it's just really awesome to bring different sounds together, and the openness that,
Well, me and you are really blessed. Yeah. Like because you popped up like a little after I did, right?
Yeah.
When we met is when you just started making music, right?
Yeah. Just met you at your show.
Yeah. And so like, and I popped up just a few like months before that.
It? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And like, we are just blessed. Like the people that we popped up and like met in the whole community is just prime time.
I'm
like,
trying to think. That was
straight
October
OGs
2.
Too.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That was October 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, somebody. You know what's funny is Jimbo was in here. Either.
I saw you just had. I met him at that show.
Episode before last, and he brought the flyer from that show. Yeah, and that was the first time that my name was ever up on boards. Yeah, and
that was your first.
Yeah, and the first time I ever did a show with like Bad Habitat and Randall Wyatt.
Yeah.
And Trunk Mob was there too.
Well,
and that guy, I haven't seen that guy in forever. I hope he's doing good.
Is that yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I was talking to him recently, but that I went to go watch Brandon Fifth Sequence and met all of you. And
the moment we met was so funny.
It was so funny.
I was like,
got you on video
doing mic check. Do you have it on video?
I have it on video.
Really?
I think Jimbo got it on video.
That's so funny. Yeah. I was like doing mic check, right? And I was just doing one of my tracks, and all of a sudden you're like, what the fuck?
Who the fuck are you? I was like, you're the baddest bitch I've ever met in my entire life. Can we be friends?
I just remember I was facing the other way.
Like, yeah.
Like to the DJ, and I just hear, what the fuck? I turned around like.
I mean,
you're just in the back like, yeah.
Your presence, you on stage, it just like, it inspired me. You came out like, yeah, your energy just like so real. So real. And then like, I mean, honestly, your favorite person, like watching you perform was just, I was in awe.
I can't wait to get back to that.
I was like, can we be friends? And you're like, yeah, we can. And then here we are. Why would I
be like, can we be friends? I'm like, yeah.
You're like, yeah. What's up?
No, I don't need no friends.
Yeah.
No,
so that
I love friends.
That was a really special
clicked
night.
like instantly. Too.
Yeah, we did.
I remember I posted about needing to put flyers out, and you were like the only one. You're like, yo, let's go. Yeah. And then that was when we like first met. So I didn't even look at your picture. No, like, and then we just met up, and I'm like just meeting with strangers, you know. But
just being a fan.
Yeah. And then it was you, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. You know,
and that turned out to be such a fun night.
Oh, dude, yeah, we went all over the place.
That was so fun.
Yeah, it was.
Aww.
Asking places to let us put things places.
Oh yeah.
That's back when I had the confidence to walk up to anybody. Yeah. You know?
We made a good team that night going up to all those places and
actually putting flyers up like a boss.
Yeah. That's cool that Jimbo brought that flyer by. I
know. So, and that's the night I met him too.
Oh,
so it was like an epic night for all of us.
It was, yeah.
And yeah, you know what's funny is Bad Habitat, they never really like watched my set ever, and they've heard of me, but they always kind of gave me a look, you know?
Yeah.
And I met them the other night at one of their shows, and somebody bailed out on the show and asked me to.
Really?
Or they asked me to. They're like, yeah, do it. And then they were like super stoked on my music, and they were like, oh my God, I missed the party. Like,
yeah.
Pretty much just saying like, you've been around for a minute and I never actually looked into your music. And I was like, well, that's what you get. Like,
yeah, I met Andy that night, Andy Stack, and
that's when I met him too.
Yeah. He's a fan of yours.
I miss those days, dude. Like,
right?
Well, I mean, it's coming back. I have noticed because I've been out at shows pretty often lately, and that feeling is coming back.
Yeah.
And I'm stoked about it. Yeah, because for a minute there, I was a little worried, and I was like, everyone's awkward and like tired really early.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Like, but I've noticed people are starting to wake up a little bit. I think we're all just in our corona comatose, you know. We just gotta come out of our larva and
can't wait.
Pretty little butterflies, you know. Like, that's how I feel.
The live shows are so fun.
I know.
Yeah. There's a couple coming up soon. I'm going to a couple, I think, like on the 1st and the 2nd.
Yeah, Skylar Ray has one on the 2nd. I have to miss it. But I'm doing so many video shoots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have 2 in 1 week. Basically 2 weekends in a row video shoots.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm really tired. No.
It's gonna be good.
No, I'm excited because I haven't been to Kansas City in a long time and haven't even really, I mean, when I went to Baltimore, I left, you know?
Yeah.
But ever since then, I haven't really gone anywhere. And I was like, this is going to be nice.
Good time of year to step out.
I know.
Can't wait to see it.
I know. It's going to be dope.
And then we're going to make some music together.
Yeah, we should make a video too. I want to crank out some videos because that's one thing I wasn't able to do because of COVID. You know? Yeah. Like, just shit always popped up. Like, I'd plan something and something would happen. Someone gets sick, or like a bunch of people didn't want to show up, or like, you know, it just never worked out.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for it to be like, well, I'm hoping. I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I'm hoping things will actually like open up.
Cool.
Yeah. I want to go on tour.
Yes.
We gonna go on tour?
We're gonna go on tour.
We're gonna go on tour.
Let's start this.
Dude, I'm down.
Cheers, Rekka.
Yeah, cheers.
Hey, so good to see you.
I know, it is good to see you too. And so what else? I feel like there was something I wanted to chat with you about. I mean, we already went over like the mental health thing, which was really important to me. That's why like I love you so much, is because you're so aware of it.
Thank you.
Huge.
Yeah. I've been working in mental health for 12 years now.
Well, and you deal with it yourself, don't you?
Yeah.
So
definitely.
What kind of stuff do you deal with?
Anxiety and you know, just dealt with depression in the past, and I mean, I work really hard at my healing and just taking really good care of myself. I definitely make my mental health a priority, and my physical health, that goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
So
does it keep you does it help you with your mental health to aspire to have that kind of job?
Oh, absolutely. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Like, building rapport with family and teens. You know, I dealt with this stuff when I was a teenager. So really I had someone help me in high school, and they changed the direction of my life. They believed in me, and they're the reason I went to college and you know, graduated. And I really feel like this last year I actualized a dream for myself, because I've set out to be in a role like I have been this past year. And it wasn't until one day it was just like, oh, this is like, I was 17. So when I had this dream to do what I was doing one day, and I was advocating for a teenager that was failing their classes because they were spending time working on their mental health. And that's backwards.
Yeah.
You know, when you're first things first, when you're taking care of your mental health, you shouldn't be failing your classes, and you should be provided more support and encouragement and set up for success when you return to school. So just being that advocate for those teens and connecting with their counselors and actually having the outcome be, yeah, we're going to pass them. We're going to provide options, and we want to support them when they come back.
Yeah.
By whatever their needs are. Tell us what their needs are.
Yeah.
Talking to the student, and they're like, this is what I need. Here's what they need. All right, we're going to accommodate that.
That's
that
awesome.
was like when I was just like, okay, that's like,
no, that's
the work awesome.
Because sometimes you do have to like kind of, you know, seclude yourself to really like work on yourself.
Yeah.
Like I think one of the happiest points I hit like coming from depression was when I was traveling for work, and I spent a lot of time by myself. And so I slowly just started working on myself, like bit by bit.
Yeah.
And then it became a relationship with myself where I was like, you know, challenging myself.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that was the happiest point in my life, where it got to the point where I was challenging myself. Yeah. Like literally having conversations in my head like, oh, you ran this far on the treadmill, you're going to go this far.
So you're kind of competing with yourself, and like, yeah, that's amazing.
And not really worrying about the world or what's going on, just focusing on you and your goals and your things. Like,
yeah, so finding that self-motivation.
Well, it's baby steps too.
Baby steps.
Yeah. Like little tiny
forward,
baby steps.
You're going to go backwards. You're going to go forward a little more.
Yeah, because recently I had like a really downward spiral for a while. It was like a good couple months that I was like the lowest I ever was.
Yeah.
And the only way to really get myself out of it was to like slowly do it.
Yeah.
Like little tiny things, like taking away a bad habit and replacing it with a new one. And like, even if I mess up, I'll just start over, you know?
Yeah.
And like try to get to the 2-week mark or something. And once I get there, you know, add a new one, you know? But like tiny, because I've tried like, especially living with depression, I feel like you have your high times where you're great, things are fine. And then you hit this like low and you don't know how you got there.
You get stuck.
Yeah. And you're frozen. Like stuck down there. And so you try getting yourself to do all the things you did when you were fine. And then you end up with a bunch of anxiety. Exactly. Like not get anything done. And that's what I did. I tried doing it.
I really enjoyed like having those conversations with you, and you know, having you as a friend to reach out to you, and you reach out to me, and kind of.
Oh yeah, I hit you up when I was like, ah.
You know. And same, you know, it's just it's important to have your friends that you can that can validate you or your experience, and you know, remind you of your strengths or how you've gotten through it in the past, and you know, non-judgment. I guess the other thing that I wanted to bring up was I lost a close family member just over 2 years ago. And that grief,
your dad?
Yeah, my stepdad, who was raising my son with me, and we lived together when the accident happened, and that I just started doing music a few months prior to his death.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, met, like, my friends that I was doing music with really came through.
Yeah.
And then, like, that was transformative and, like, huge part of my healing and processing through that grief. So ever since, I've never let it go. It's just been such a powerful tool. Yeah.
It's super important. I mean, like, I use it for when someone makes me angry. I'll go and I'll talk a bunch of shit on a rap till I feel better, you know?
Yeah.
Or if someone breaks my heart or something, I'll write about that. Or even like talking about my accomplishments. Like some people have told me that some of my music is like cocky. And I'm like, so I can't express how proud I am of myself. Like, are you sure it's not you being insecure? Or am I being cocky? You know, because you can sing the song too, you know, like you can do whatever you want or make your own song like that, you know?
Oh, that's so funny. So I think when I started singing or doing like my poetry out loud, that was the time when I built self-esteem for myself. I was like able to kind of talk positively about myself, like, you know, affirming it, and like, you know, that's
Well, that's kind of what I was doing too. So when people would be like, "Oh, you act cocky," and I'm like, "Are you sure?" Like, I don't know, because really, I know I'm humble. Like, that's one of my goals is to be humble forever. Like, even if I became Oprah, someone rich, you know, like I want to always be caring and nice, you know. So it's like when someone comes at me like that, I'm like, it's music. It's music. Listen to the next song.
I mean, I believe when I came up to you when you were performing, like you were. I'm trying to think of. Was it Talk is Cheap? It was one of like, it was a good, you know.
That one.
And I was like, your confidence, like on stage, I was so inspired. And I was like,
and that's back when, like, I mean, I was at my that was like one of the last shows before COVID,
it
right?
Was,
Yeah. And that one, like, at that time, I was at my highest, probably confidence-wise. And just because I had a lot of practice, really, though. And it wasn't... I wasn't confident because I thought I was cool. It was because I knew what I was doing.
You did.
Yeah. Like I was doing like 4 shows a week.
It was cool.
Something like that. So it was like a job to me.
Yeah.
So like it was really normal. And
it was really cool.
Like anybody who feels like they can't do it, I feel like they just have to keep trying till they figure it out. Like you're going to bomb no matter what. Like there's times I still bomb. Like even at the Star Awards, I forgot some lyrics. Yeah, because it was the first time I did a show in like 2 years.
Yeah, that's right.
And I kept telling myself like, oh, I know all my songs. And like, but when you're up there and your heart's racing, you forget, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's stuff like that. Like whenever I hear like kids or people saying that they can't do something, I'm like, who said that? You know, like
that's awesome.
Who said it? And then they're like, well, me. And I'm like, so you're stopping yourself. Okay. Well, let's start there then, you know, like, and it even works. Like my kid's super shy. She, for like 3 years straight, wouldn't let anybody take a picture of her. She'd just bolt. I have multiple videos of like, as soon as she sees the camera, just taking off or screaming at you and yelling. Like she had like 2 different shirts I got for her that say no photos, please. And now, like, cause she's so used to me still trying that like, she lets me take pictures. She takes funny pictures now.
Aww.
Like, I haven't got her onto TikTok videos yet, but I'm working on that. But, like, no matter how shy you are, like, some people are born just not shy.
Yeah, no.
You know? Those people I'm jealous of. Some of them are kind of rude, though. But, you know, where they've been that way their whole life. They were, like, a jock in high school, and they're just like, I rule the world, you know? Or there's people that are still nice.
Were you quiet and shy growing up?
Yes. So until like middle school, and then I started getting bullied for being like a tomboy, which is funny because now it's like my biggest asset, you know? So yeah, but
we were both tomboys.
Oh, dude, and I got made fun of for my Harry Potter shirts and like, you know, I'd always be in my dad's shop. I'd be dirty, or I'd always be called like a slut for having all like guy friends.
Yes.
And I'm like, well, you guys don't want to do nothing cool. Like, literally it just, and that was in like elementary, even like 5th grade it started. 6th grade was horrible.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. You got to stay yourself though.
You have to stay yourself. I don't know. I feel like, so I went through that. I was sharing a picture with my friends the other day. When I was in 2nd grade, I got the T-Boz haircut. Like a TLC. Like, oh, really? I got like a really short, you know, TLC. Yeah. So I got like this really short, I cut my hair off. I didn't have long hair until like later middle school or something like that. But tomboy all the way. And
people messed with you?
Yeah. And I just always had guy friends. So,
they're easier to be friends with. They're way easier.
Yeah.
Depending, well, I guess it's still a hit or miss.
I don't know. It just I still have those traits, and I started, you know, maybe dressing up like in college or something like that. Like,
well, I still started rocking makeup and stuff, but I had this like emo punk looking look that was like, I don't like making a statement, basically. Like, you guys made fun of me for so long, I'm just gonna go all out with it, kind of thing. I had like pink hair in middle school all the time.
You?
Yeah,
you
dude. And piercings everywhere.
Nice.
Wow. And dude, I had so many piercings in like middle school. Even in high school I had like my eyebrow twice and like my labret and this one. Wow. It was crazy. That's and I loved it. And I loved it the most because it like made people look. Yeah. You know? So it kind of, you know, like, I don't condone on bullying, but I think it does shape you as a person if you think about it the right way, you know? Yeah. Like, I think a kid that's getting bullied that is really hurt, like, they just need that someone that has been through it to kind of... Exactly. Like, you can always kill them with kindness. You know what I mean? Like, that's one thing I always did, like, in high school. If somebody was bullying me, I'd, like, kill them with kindness. Yep. And then if someone was bullying someone else, I'd make fun of the bully. Yeah. Like, in class, I'd, like, call them out, you know? Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Talking to my son a lot about bullying. It's been happening in his peer group quite a bit this past year, and I'm like, okay, well, you know, sometimes you need to be the person that intervenes and steps in and says, "Hey, man, stop! Like that's not okay," you know. And just, like, just because no one else is doing it, you can always be that person to jump in and be like, "Hey, back off," you know. Yeah, like I'm always a person that questions the person who is being a bully. Yeah. Like, you know, I'd be like, so what, do you think you're cool now? Like, that's, yeah. Or something like that, right? You know, like, yeah. Easy little things. Yep. Asking the questions. Like, I remember this one chick was, like, making fun of this other kid for, like, what he was wearing and stuff. But, like, I knew some stuff in her life was going on. Yeah. So, you know, when you can kind of see, like, the creation of the bully and it happening, you know? And so I just remember being like, hey, Marissa, like, should you really be talking? And she like instantly stopped, you know? And it's like one of those things, you don't have to be rude to check somebody, you know? Yeah. But you can easily put them in their place by still like defending someone, I guess. And so like, I want my kid to be like a defender, you know? Absolutely. I think talking to them about language before, you know, an incident happens really, that's what my son and I have been working on. Yeah. Yeah. So he's all into music. Does he, does he sing or anything? He sings. He makes beats. Oh, really? Yeah, his school has a music program. It's called Quaver, and it's like teaches music theory for elementary kids and beats. So, yeah, his producer name's Obox. Obox? Yeah, dude. Does he have an Instagram? Oh, okay. When he makes one, I'm gonna follow it. Let's go. Okay, let's get that up there. You should set him up one and start posting. I made one for Lorelai, but we never really I found in his backpack. His handwriting is getting really good because he's writing raps. So I'm gonna send you. Dude, I want to see what he's rapping about. What could a 7-year-old possibly be rapping? I like to play games. I like to learn people's names. Aww. Dude, there was this 8-year-old rapper at a show during Hip Hop Week, and he murked it. Like, he was so on beat. Dang. Like, sure, all the things he was saying was super, like, childish, but obviously, like, and it was so awesome, where I was like, this kid, he's gonna have his own, like, smaller kid fan bases, and it's gonna just be awesome. And he was only, like, 8. And if anyone's listening, I'm looking for a music mentor for Owen. So, you know. There's a lot out here, too. He's into all the things, you know, writing songs, producing beats. Well, if you ever want to bring him to one of my sessions, I do. Through. Yeah, he hasn't been to a studio before. That'd be awesome. I'll try to bring Lorelai or something. Let's do it. I set her up a sesh by herself once, but as soon as she got there, she shut down. Did she? Okay. Yeah, but maybe if another kid was there, right? They could be like rapping back and forth. Absolutely. Well, dope. So, where can everybody find you at? I've got an Instagram. Ashley Kuske or Shlee Kuske. Shlee. Oh, without the A. Yeah, without the A. I guess that's my spot right now. So, yeah. Well, dope. We're gonna make a track together, and then you wanted me to play one of my tracks, and which I'm really excited Let's about. Hear it. Looking forward to all your moves you're making, and look forward to us doing some music together. Yeah, we're gonna do a track, make a video, and do all the things. So thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you have a good weekend. Thanks for having me, Rekka. Anytime. Yeah. Life is a dark room. One big dark room. That's the way we play. We smoke the pain away. We blaze trails about a day forever claiming rain. Stardust in our veins, no, never in vain. Now ride a fast lane, knee deep in the game. Steady while I bang in the rain. A beautiful decay. A street trucks and trains, trill life, no
train. Is this the same? Will I stake claims on my wizard coastal rain? Now time to vertebrate minds. I be brave, breathe deep, maintain a life great in the mainframe. Stay sane, stay strange. No map city, zoo free range. Everywhere I go, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Everywhere I go, oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Everywhere we go, whoa, when we're on the road, whoa, if I'm feeling low, I know they got me. Yeah. I know they still got me. And I love them real ones. And it's like too cheap. Like I don't need none. It got me feeling up, yeah. I don't really see them. And I don't really need them. But when they see me, it's them. They say I could wake up with no fun. I could be out on my own, but I never really am alone. Guess they got me. I could call on anybody, any fucking time. No, I don't need anybody. Company is fine. If you really wanna fuck with me, you gotta get in line. But we won't pay you no mind if you spread it everywhere we go. When we're on the road, whoa, if I'm feeling low, I know they got me. Yeah. I know they still got me. Cause when everything is tragic, I still got you on my mind. When I'm confined and stuck inside, I needed a friend to remind me of these times that I was alive and falling head first off the climb. When the heart needed to be revived, that's why I'll jump to a hole to find you. Even when you're gone, lost in time. When you need a friend to guide you, fly to the light you die to. Even when it's on my mind that I might lose, if I can see that, I'll be your eyes too. In the darkness, days and all the blues, I'll still stand by you. In the darkness, days and all the blues, I'll still